In 1978, the insulation industry convinced the United States Department of Energy to update the residential building code. They pushed for thicker fiberglass bats in attic floors. They pushed for higher R-value requirements. They got almost everything they asked for. What they made sure was left out of that code was a reflective layer on the underside of the roof deck, a layer that could redirect up to 97% of radiant heat before it ever touched your insulation, a layer that cost almost nothing to install. The reason it was left out had nothing to do with whether it worked. It worked. The reason was that it cost $12 and did not need to be replaced. Fiberglass insulation costs hundreds of dollars and degrades every decade. Walk into any hardware store in America right now. You can buy everything you need to solve your summer energy bill for under $50. The industry knew that in 1978. They know it now. And the building code has not changed. Picture a Roman bathhouse in the 1st century AD, somewhere outside Rome in the Campania region. The building has no air conditioning, no mechanical cooling of any kind. But on the hottest days of the Italian summer, the interior temperature stays 15 to 20 degrees cooler than the air outside. The engineers who built it understood something that modern construction has deliberately forgotten. Heat moves in two ways. It conducts through solid material, and it radiates through open air as infrared energy. The Romans separated those two problems and solved them independently. The walls of their bath complexes used a system called opus intertum, with an AIR gap deliberately built into the structure. The roof assemblies used layered materials with reflective surfaces facing the heat source. They were not guessing. They were observing. A shiny surface facing a heat source reflects the energy back, and a dark or dull surface absorbs it. Their buildings stayed cool because the heat never got in, not because they removed it after it arrived. Now bring that same idea to a modern suburban attic in Phoenix, Arizona. On a day when the outside temperature reaches 110 degrees, the surface temperature of a standard asphalt shingle roof reaches 170 degrees. That heat radiates downward from the roof deck into the attic space. Your fiberglass insulation on the attic floor absorbs some of it. The rest conducts through your ceiling into your living space. Your air conditioning turns on and runs for hours to remove the heat that your roof let in. The insulation slowed that heat down. It did not stop it. Nothing in your current building assembly reflected it away before it ever entered the structure. That is the gap. That is what the Romans filled 2,000 years ago, and what your building code quietly left empty in 1978. The research that confirmed all of this at a modern scientific level was done not by a university or a consumer advocacy group. It was done by NASA. In the late 1950s, engineers at the Langley Research Center in Virginia were designing spacecraft that needed to survive extreme temperature swings in orbit. They needed materials that could reflect radiant heat with almost perfect efficiency. They developed and tested multi-layer reflective insulation using thin metallic films separated by air gaps. The results were extraordinary. A few layers of reflective material with air gaps between them outperformed mass insulation many times their weight. NASA published this research. It was not classified. It was available. By the 1970s, the Florida Solar Energy Center and researchers at Oak Ridge National Laboratory had translated those findings directly into residential applications. Their studies showed that a properly installed radiant barrier in a residential attic reduced cooling loads by between 17 and 42% depending on climate. That is not a fringe claim from an alternative building website. That is a peer-reviewed finding from a government research institution. The insulation industry read those studies. They lobbied anyway. and the code was written without the reflective layer. Imagine a NASA testing facility in Langley, Virginia in 1958. A team of engineers is measuring heat transfer through a wall assembly at 200 degrees. On one side, standard mass insulation. On the other, a sheet of aluminum foil with an air gap. The foil assembly wins by a margin that surprises everyone in the room. That finding goes into a report. The report gets filed. 20 years later, a building code committee in Washington meets to update residential construction standards. The fiberglass manufacturers have lobbyists in the room. The NASA researchers do not. The foil stays out of the code. The financial logic is not complicated. A radiant barrier is a one-time installation. You staple it to the underside of your roof rafters, or lay it across your attic joists, and it performs at the same level for the life of the building. It does not compress. It does not absorb moisture and lose effectiveness. It does not need to be replaced every 10 to 15 years, the way fiberglass bats do when they settle and degrade. The fiberglass insulation market in the United States generates roughly $8 billion per year. That market depends on replacement cycles. A product that eliminates a significant portion of your cooling load permanently, for $50 installed once, is not a product the insulation industry wants inside the building code. It wants that product to remain optional, obscure, and unmentioned by the contractors who are trained on and incentivized to sell fiberglass by the roll. Walk through a house in Austin, Texas, where a radiant barrier has been installed in the attic for 12 years. The homeowner is a retired engineer named David, who put it in himself over a single weekend in 2012. He kept his utility bills. Before installation, his average July electricity bill was $240. After installation, that number dropped to $160 and has stayed there every summer since. That is $80 a month, $960 a year. In 12 years, that $50 investment has saved him over $11,000. He used foil-faced bubble wrap from a building supply store. He cut it with scissors and stapled it to the underside of his roof rafters, leaving a 1-inch air gap between the foil and the roof deck. The job took him 4 hours. No contractor, no permit, no specialist equipment. David is not an outlier. The Florida Solar Energy Center tracked dozens of similar installations across the southeastern United States and found consistent results in the 17 to 30% cooling cost reduction range. The homes with the highest reductions were in climates with long, hot summers and high solar exposure. That covers most of the southern half of the United States. Exactly where energy bills are highest. Exactly where the savings are most significant. Exactly where the building code has consistently failed to mandate a solution that costs less than a tank of petrol. Here is exactly what you can do this weekend. Go to any hardware store and buy a roll of foil-faced bubble wrap insulation or a roll of double-sided reflective foil insulation. Either works. The total cost for a standard attic is between $30 and $60. You will also need a staple gun and a utility knife. Go into your attic. Staple the reflective material to the underside of your roof rafters with the shiny side facing down toward the attic floor. Leave a small air gap between the foil and the underside of the roof deck. That air gap is not optional. It is what makes the system work. The reflective surface needs open air on the facing side to reject radiant heat rather than conduct it. If the foil is pressed flat against the roof deck with no gap, it functions as a conductor rather than a reflector, and the benefit disappears. 1 inch of gap is sufficient. You do not need to cover the entire underside of the roof in a single session. Start with the sections directly above your main living areas. The master bedroom ceiling, the living room, Those are where you will feel the difference fastest. In most U.S. states, adding a radiant barrier inside an existing attic does not require a building permit because you are not altering the structural assembly. You are adding a layer to an existing space. Check your local code if you are uncertain, but in the vast majority of residential jurisdictions, this is a straightforward, do-it-yourself job with no paperwork required. The whole installation for an average home takes 1 day. You will feel the difference in your ceiling temperature within the first hot week. 2,000 years ago, Roman engineers understood that the most efficient way to manage heat is to stop it at the boundary, not to absorb it and hope for the best, not to remove it after it has already entered your living space at enormous energy cost. Stop it at the roof. Reflect it back before it becomes your problem. That knowledge was never lost. It was researched by NASA, confirmed by government laboratories, and quietly left out of the building code by an industry that profits from the problem it refuses to solve. The $50 answer has been sitting in the hardware store the whole time. Now you know where to find it. If this is the kind of knowledge you think should be common, subscribe. Because the next video covers a wall system the concrete industry buried in 1964 that heats and cools your home using nothing but the temperature difference between your floor and your ceiling. No fuel, no electricity, no moving parts, and it works better the older the building gets.